What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another 5 Minute Friday. This is a series that I created to help filmmakers get better at creating videos just by them taking out 5 minutes of their days. That's all. All you gotta do is give up 5 minutes of your day. I'm not asking for much. Let's get straight to it. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to achieve that cinematic look. Now, you may have just picked up your camera and you're ready to go out there and shoot and get ready to start filming things. This video is going to help you to achieve that cinematic look, to take your videos to the next level and give you that professional look that you might be looking for. So the first tip that I would give you all today to make your videos look more cinematic is camera movement. Make sure to use the right camera movement within your films. This can help your videos look a lot more cinematic and can help you with your storytelling as a filmmaker. For example, if you want your audience to feel connected with a character or for them to get closer and personal, you may want to use a zoom in effect and zoom in closer as that person is talking. If you want a person to feel stranded and alone, you may want to zoom out as they're talking or as they're doing whatever action they're doing to display the space around them and to show that they're really lonely and don't have anyone around them. This can go many ways. There are a lot of other pans and zooms that you can use to really help tell your story. This can also help your footage just look that much better. So just pay attention to all that type of stuff. Another thing that could be altered to make your footage look more cinematic is your lighting. It's important to pay attention to your lighting on set. For example, I'm shooting this video with two fill lights and a key light above me. If I turn off this key light, it will give my footage a whole different mood. It will make it look totally different. Now, in some instances, this may work for you. But for me, in this video, this doesn't work because I'm giving you an informational video. I need you to see my face, read my body language, and really retain the information that I'm giving you. So with that being said, let's get this key light back on and get going with the video. So the last tip that we're going to talk about today is frame rates. Now, if you're trying to achieve that cinematic look, it's important to film in 24 frames per second. With filming in 24 frames per second, it gives you just enough motion blur to make your footage look cinematic and realistic. There are other frame rates like 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second that could be useful if you're shooting in slow motion. So if you're shooting in slow motion with 120 frames per second, your footage will be a lot more cleaner and smoother than opposed to shooting with 24 frames per second because you have more frames per second. Now, I know that's pretty simple and but it's really as straightforward as it sounds. Once you get your footage into your editing software and you slow it down, you just have a lot more frames per second to work with, and that's what helps achieve that smooth looking footage. So with that being said, let's jump onto the computer and look at some of these things in real time. Okay, so we're here in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I have this shot that I took a while ago. We're going to apply some of those tips that we learned earlier onto this footage and try to make it look cinematic. So let's get to it. I'm going to jump into this editing section of Adobe Premiere Pro and just add 2 keyframes to add some camera movement to the shot. As you can see, it's a still shot. There's nothing going on except for the light changing from red to green. But the shot was just a still shot. So we're just going to play this back with the camera movement, see how that looks. And I'm liking it already. Just add a subtle little movement in there, but it's looking good. We're going to go ahead and jump over to the color section really quick and add a quick LUT onto it. Just so you can see that your color grading could change the way that your image look and make it more cinematic as well. Since I didn't get a chance to really control the lighting on set because it's an outdoor location, I'm going to show you guys how you could throw on a LUT or color grade your footage to make it look more cinematic. And just like that, we went from an image that looked like this to one that looked like that, which looks a lot more cinematic. You can see that your blacks are brought down, your highlights are still there, and overall it just looks like a better shot. Just in a matter of less than a minute, we just went from a boring shot to a more cinematic shot, just like that. The last thing I want to talk about really quick is the frame rates as well. I know we talked about that. Right here we just have a shot that's moving right to left. And this shot in 60 frames per second because I had the intent to go back and post and slow it down like we're about to do right here. Make sure you have it on optical flow, and it just flows a lot more smoother with your slow motion. It just makes it look a little more cinematic. You have more frames in between, so it just looks a lot better. That's going to wrap it up for today. I hope we didn't go over time. I hope you guys learned something. Again, drop a like, a comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of it. Peace.